Hello and welcome. I'm Rowena, designer of the Sojourner journals, planners, and other leather goods. On this channel, I talk about our products, travel lifestyle, stationery, and basically anything that may help you in documenting life as it happens. So if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. In this video, I will share with you the journal that I have been using since late December of 2017 to today, August 2018. So stay tuned. Let me give you a little bit of a background. For 2018, I decided that for my travels, I was going to use an A6 size Sojourner. And I happened to have an extra Hobonichi Techo A6. The reason why I like to use the Hobonichi is because I love the paper, the Tomo River paper, and I had an extra book that I had not used in the past, and so I went ahead and figured I can use this 2017 one and make use of it, and so I didn't waste the paper since it's super beautiful. Well, I was going on a trip with my daughter in late 2017 of December, and I started with the seed leather, which is a nubuck leather. And nubuck leather is very sturdy and it has a soft texture to it, and it is one that is used a lot for shoes and handbags. It feels kind of like suede, but it's not suede. Nubuck is a lot more sturdier than suede, and like I said, it's a nice soft leather, and so that's what I started with in December. And after that trip, and I think another trip right after that, I decided I was going to try the stag, because I've never traveled with a stag leather, which is the pull-up leather, and I wanted to see how it would wear. I personally like scratches and things like that because a lot of that are memories from the trips when you get different scratches, and so I like that used look, that old world look, like it's actually traveled around. Shortly after I started using it, some sleuths who have a sharp eye had noticed that I had a pocket in the back. And I have a pocket in the back because I needed more room for receipts and other ephemera and things like that, and it just comes in handy. And so I put that here, and people started asking me if I would offer it. So I decided I would go ahead and offer it once I revamped the design and really tried to figure out what I want to use it for, or what I think people would want to use it for. And most of the ones who mentioned to me that they would like one for themselves is because they're using it for travel. So I really tailored it for that. And as you know, whenever I design something, part of Sojourner brand is that it is simple, lightweight, and travel friendly. And so I choose leather that is a thinner type of leather. I do not, in general, actually even use any thicker leathers because I always feel like for myself, I like to have my journal with me at all times in my bag, and I just can't seem to leave home without it, especially because my lifestyle is such that I'm always on the go. So I want to be able to journal whenever I please. And so this seed is very thin. Again, this stag is thin. All of my leathers are thin. When you purchase one of these, typically also you will notice that I have natural leather on the inside. The reason is because if I were to use the same leather that I use on the body, it would add not only thickness but also weight. And again, I'm trying to stay away from that. And the natural leather comes in all the different weights, so I can get a much thinner leather than what's on the body. And that is why I design it usually with a natural leather pocket. So there is a pocket here for a card. Typically I take probably 3 cards, my license, and 2 of my ATM cards. That's usually what I take whenever I travel. I don't take anything extra because, again, trying to keep everything light. And also I like to put, instead of having a cumbersome pen loop, I like to use a bulldog clip, because then you can decide whether you want to add a pen or not. And if you don't want to add a pen to it, then you don't have that cumbersome loop sticking out anywhere in the notebook. And that's mainly why I do not ever really offer pen loop style holders. And so this is, again, this is what I like to do. I like to just put a bulldog clip, a small one in here, and then I just clip whatever pen I have in here. One tip really quick, I noticed that I have dropped a couple of pens because I use fountain pens. So if you're not going to put pens that are ballpoint or the less expensive pens, if you're going to put a fountain pen, I would suggest that you have one that is capless, like this Pilot one. Not only is it more convenient and easy to use and quick, it also will not fall out easily. I have had a couple of times a pen that for some reason it got loose, the bottom got loose, and it fell out. In fact, I just ruined one of my nibs recently because that happened. And it wasn't because I didn't close it. For some reason, it just starts to get kind of loose. And so that's just a little tip for you. I will talk a little bit more about that and tips on travel and what to use and do a flip through soon. So I decided to go ahead and start making these. And when I did, I moved some things around so that more things can fit in here. And so that's what I'm going to show you right now in the new design. And the reason I chose a trifold from the very beginning when I wanted to use it for travel is because a lot of times people are leery about having just a regular notebook like the traveler's notebook that's just a flap basically, because they're afraid that things might fall out. Now, I've never had anything fall out of my notebooks because they're fairly secure with a cord, or just because I have enough card slots that I'm able to put things in there and they're not just loose in the notebook. So I've never really lost anything. However, it does give you a little bit more of a peace of mind and just kind of an assurance that everything's kind of tucked in here. So that is why I chose a trifold. And so this is the new design. Basically the same as the old design. It has a place where you can put your credit card, ephemera, a card of washi, or for a quick draw of your hotel key card, you can put that in there. And then in here again, you can put things in here, receipts. And here I redesigned it so that it's going to be a little bit bigger in this pocket so that it can fit a field note size. Many times what I've done in the past is I've taken a field note and I would place it in one of the cords like that for my note taking, because a lot of times before I leave, I actually start using the travel notebook about a week before, because I start writing lists of what I need to remember before that trip. And so a lot of times I put it in the cord. But with this, since the pocket was already inside of it, I just reconfigured the whole thing so that you can add a field notes in here or a passport size notebook as well. And if you so choose and want to put another field notes, you can do that over on the other cords, and also use another cord for your passport, your actual passport. So that makes it really handy. And on the inside, I put card slots, and it depends on what size notebook you have or you purchase. It depends how many card slots it will give you. But we typically, if it's able to fit, we do put a card slot in the front and also in the back. On the A6, there's only going to be one card slot. Like this. So I bet you're wondering and surprised to see this notebook here, and maybe you're not familiar with the Field Notes Dime Novel notebook, and basically they introduced this year. And as soon as they introduced this size, I was just so excited about it, and so I ordered up some of the notebooks in wanting to make this size. However, one of the things that the regular Field Notes paper, and I have not really researched this, I don't know what the difference is, but on the other paper, the Field Notes one, the smaller ones, it tends to have a bleed when you use a fountain pen, not regular pens. And because I use pretty much solely fountain pens, I was not really keen on using a Field Note size like this one for my travels. But this particular one, which is the Dime Novel, actually is different in that I found out by playing with it that it actually holds watercolor and also fountain pens. So it's very, very watercolor and fountain pen friendly. And so when Alyssa, who is currently on her missions trip with her siblings over to the Ukraine, she left about, what, 2 weeks ago? Anyway, when she and I were trying to decide what notebook she was going to take with her so that she can test it out, we had decided that we would use the Field Notes Dime Novel size, especially because of the fact that it holds watercolor and fountain pens, because she does the same thing. She uses pretty much a fountain pen as well. So I went ahead and decided to design it for this particular size, the Dime Novel size, and so that is what she is on her trip with. And you will get to see what it looks like after she has come back. She is using the cinnamon leather, which is one of our newest leathers, and we'll see how it's going to look when she comes back from her trip. So super excited to see that. So initially this trifold traveler is going to come in 3 sizes, and that's the A6 size, the Field Notes Dime Novel size, and a B6 Slim. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Until next time, thank you so much for hanging out and for your continued support. And as usual, keep on documenting life as it happens. Until next time, bye-bye. I decided I would use this for, If you have any questions, please feel free to ask so there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask by commenting on the description part of this video. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out, and just anyway, thank you so much for hanging out and being anyway.